To everybody who's been liking the videos so far, we thank y'all. You guys liking the videos has kind of helped us start to grow the channel even more, so we appreciate it. To those who have not, please, we ask you, hit the like button before you even watch this video. It helps us grow the channel, helps people learn about us, and allows us to make more great content like this. So that's all we got. Thank you for helping us grow this channel. Hit the like button right now, and on with the show. Super duty tough work.
What up?
Blueprint. Logic. It's good, sir.
What up, sir? I'm here, man. Doing well,
man. Repping the squad.
Repping the squad as we do.
For those of you who have been, you can see Illogic on the YouTube version of the show. He's rocking the OG gray Super Duty Tough Work hoodie.
Yes.
For those of you who got it, consider yourself special because they ain't been back since.
Right.
Them joints is comfortable. They're real
nice and comfortable. It's like my favorite hoodie, man.
See, we spent a couple extra dollars on the quality of that one. It's not the typical hoodie. That joint is just super comfy. And so, yeah, for those of you who ain't repping the squad properly, get your behind over to Vocalists.net.
Yeah.
Scoop up some Super Duty Tough Work gear. Rep the squad. It's about to get cold, so maybe I should look at doing hoodies again.
Yeah, probably do some more hoodies. Yo, Super was rocking the t-shirt in the new video.
I saw that.
Man.
My man's.
My man repping the squad.
Yeah, shout out to DJ John Doe. He had on one, and I was watching them record. I think it was Southern Vanguard. I seen him rocking the most infamous shirt too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the brothers rocking with us and sisters rocking with the movement. Super Duty Tough Work, the most infamous podcast on planet Earth, the most infamous t-shirts. You can get those from Vocalists.net.
Yeah.
The fire design. We might have to get those in a hoodie. They look too crispy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Too crispy.
I think so. I think so.
Too crispy. Yeah, the heavy duty black joint. You know what I mean? Like the comfy. Yeah, it's coming soon. So we gonna get this episode started, man. So everybody, we've been talking about production, as Illogic said. I posted a question on my Twitter. Maybe it was like 2 weeks ago. Somebody asked me something about. Someone asked me about what advice would you give new producers? And I retweeted it and I give him like 4 little bullet points.
Yeah, little joints.
Just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go all the way in. They gave me 4 joints, how I would do it if I was a new producer. And so I thought about that. I was like, yo, that's lightweight an episode right there, because I only wrote down 4, but there's many tips I would give a new producer, about how to get better faster. And and cats have been asking me this last week. I feel like I got a couple tweets for cats and on Instagram. Cats like, yo, when y'all do some more production topics? I was like, damn, it has been a minute since we did some shit about production. Yeah. And so we're going to do this week a production topic. And this week we're going to talk about how to become a better music producer. Now, just a heads up for everybody at home listening who doesn't watch on YouTube. You must know that when we finish this episode, it will be added to the YouTube playlist that we have on production. We have a playlist of all of our episodes about music production. So you can go to YouTube and watch them all together. Maybe you're sitting around making beats. You need something playing in the background to put that battery in your back, give you some creative ideas or some juice. The YouTube channel is where to go. Subscribe. Help us get these numbers up, because, as I've said many times, like 90% of our listeners are not YouTube. So our views is kind of shout over there, compared to here, to the audio. But yeah, we need y'all over there too. So those of you who, want to subscribe and take advantage of the playlist, please do that.
Yeah, we flirting with 2,000 followers, man. We flirting with it.
Right there.
There.
Help us get over the top, please.
Yeah.
Somebody. We want to stuck on 1,818 or some shit like that. Like, damn. Before the end of the year, can we just break 2K?
Yeah, come on.
We just need 200 more, y'all.
Maybe we do something special when we break 2K.
That's what we should do. We should do. I don't know what we can do, but we'll brainstorm on it. Maybe we'll give some shit away.
Yeah. Maybe a hoodie or something.
I like that idea. I like that, Illogic. See, Illogic is about the people, man. Somebody's gonna get a hoodie when we break 2K on YouTube. Help us. You know. So, okay, here we go. So, we're going to talk about how to become a better music producer. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and want to grow. So go ahead and download every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin. So we share information and honest discussion and keep repping the culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
Yeah, folks, we here. Super Duty Tough Work. Blueprint. Illogic. Talking about production this week. If you're a music producer, especially if you're an up-and-coming music producer, I don't know how much these are going to help established guys, but there are a few things in here that established guys would benefit from too.
Facts.
You know, and this episode, I also think, may apply to people who are not even music producers in a way. And so we'll see if it's transferable. And we're going to get started with number 1 tip to become a better music producer. And this is a controversial one in the hip hop community. Tip number 1, read your manuals.
Come on.
Read them shits.
Yeah. Cats just go to YouTube. They open the box, go straight to YouTube tutorials. Don't even read the manual.
They don't even download the PDF, bruh.
Come on, bro.
They be like, oh, there's a manual for this? Yeah. Hello. Look, man, maybe it's because I come from, computer science background. Being a computer science major, you know how you got to do a lot of technical reading.
Right.
So, about stuff that's not very exciting.
Right. It's not at all. Because I do it too.
Not as exciting as making beats.
Nah. Nowhere near.
So we learn to do technical reading all the time. And that transferred very well for me over to production, to where by the time I started getting machines that actually came with manuals, because let's not forget, when I started making beats, if you bought a machine used, we was buying MPs and EPSs from pawn shops and shit. Wasn't no manuals. Right. Wasn't no YouTube. Wasn't no internet.
And nobody would help you.
No one would help you. Yeah. Everyone hated you. So in those days, you couldn't read the manual. Now I think reading the manual should be a prerequisite, especially with how sophisticated software production has become.
Yeah, and all the features that are available.
Yeah.
Because everything don't get covered in YouTube tutorials.
No. No, man. I switched from Reason to Ableton pretty quickly. And people never even knew what records I was making with Ableton. And that's because when I started learning Ableton, I sat down with the manual for like 6 weeks. I bought 2 DVDs. I'm looking at them right over here. I bought 2 Ableton DVDs. That was like a course. And then I sat with those. I would 2 hours a day. I would watch a section or two, and then I would practice whatever they taught me. And I have manuals too on Ableton Live. And within 6 weeks, I was rocking. But like you're saying, the YouTube stuff doesn't scratch the surface of what's in the manual.
Right.
And the biggest reason I think you need to read the manual is not to sit there and do everything that's in the manual. You need to go through the manual so you know what features exist.
Yeah, what's available to you. And then you can take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's something that you not going to use, then you just don't use it. But knowing that it's there, you might come up, you know, and make a track or, you know, like live tracking instruments and shit like that.
Yes.
Like you may not do that often, but if it comes to a point where you have to do that, you're like, oh, it's a section in the manual about how to do that. Let me go back. You know what I'm saying? And reread that section. Like there's a lot of shit, you know, even with FL, like there's a lot of stuff that I still haven't even touched yet because I haven't needed to, but I know what's available to me.
Exactly. So read your manuals, guys. There's going to be a lot of producers say, oh man, I just picked it up and made a beat the first day I got it. I knew it was me. Yeah, but then 2 years, 3 years later, they're still making the same beat.
Right. Doing the same shit.
Same shit. You want to at least know what's in that thing so that when you run into a problem or you have a creative idea, your vocabulary for solving that problem is that much deeper. So read your manuals. Number one. Number two piece of advice for new music producers to become a better producer is to make 2 to 3 beats a day.
Yes.
Especially
when you just starting out.
Exactly. Do not think that you're just going to make a beat every couple weeks, every week or so when you feel like it, and you're going to get better. You know how long it takes just to get good at programming drums?
Come on.
Just at chopping
I'm still not good at it. Right. I'm still not good at it. I chop up drum breaks like a motherfucker because I cannot program drums to save my life, dog.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
See? And this is a man, how long you been making beats? 6, 7 years?
About
probably?
6, 7 years now. Yeah.
See, it's very similar. It's like there are certain parts of production that you could only learn through repetition and doing them over and over and over again. And every beat is a little different. So every time you solve this problem a little bit differently, and you have to make beats enough to where you can take the lessons of the previous beats and add them to the new beats.
Right.
But what happens is if you only make beats when you feel like it, only make one beat every month or when I got time, 30 minutes on a whim, you get no momentum.
Yeah.
You know, and so I when I first started making beats, and I remember the first sampler I got, when I got my EPS, I got it out the pawn shop right before my college Christmas break. And I was like, Mom, I'm not coming home for Thanksgiving.
I got plans.
Yeah, I'm going to stay down here. You know what I mean? I don't even think I had a bedroom at my mom's house at that point anyway. So I was like, look, we got a crib down here on campus. I'm going to stay here and I'm just going to come visit whenever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to stay at home for 6 weeks from Thanksgiving to, New Year's, like the long college breaks we used to have. And I had this machine. I was like, yo, I'm going to learn this machine. That's all I did for 6 weeks. Made beat after beat after beat after beat. And that's how, like, by the time I had met you, you know what I'm saying, I was pretty good at production, even though I had only been doing it like a year or two, because I was just sitting around doing that every day. My advice to new producers, don't try to be perfect.
Right.
Don't think that, like, you're going to get it on a first try, that something's wrong with making whack beats. Ain't nothing wrong with making no whack beats. You need those whack beats.
You need whack beats to get to the great ones.
Thank you. And if you ain't making no beats, you ain't going to be doing shit. You ain't going to be progressing,
True.
So make 2 to 3 beats a day. And sometimes if you can't do 2 to 3 beats a day, just make sure you sit down for 2 hours a day. That's it. Maybe you only get one great beat.
Yeah.
But you have to put the time in or you won't get better.
Yeah, the first time when I first started making beats, that's all I did. I didn't write no rhymes. I didn't do anything but study my manuals, watch YouTube videos, and practice and try shit. And I was making 3 to 5 beats a day. Just, that was my time. That's all that I did. When I would go in the studio, it was all about production. I wasn't even thinking about writing rhymes. I wasn't even thinking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I had to focus on learning this, this new equipment and this new software. And just the idea of learning, what reverb actually does to sound. What delays actually do to sound. What all of these words mean so I can speak the language and understand what the hell I'm doing, what ambience is. And, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these things, just learning those things to understand, and try to find my sound and find out, what my beats are going to sound like.
Yes.
Because being around you and, I've been around some of the best producers in the game, you know what I mean? But if I'm going to be a producer, my shit can't sound like you.
Yeah.
My shit can't sound like RJ or Blockhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to find my own shit. And the only way you can do that is to take time and really dedicate, to learning your software and understanding production tips all the way through.
Facts. So that's number 2. Number 3 tip, how to become a better music producer is imitate your favorites.
Yes.
They say imitation is the highest form of flattery. It's also the easiest way to get better as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
Because imitation teaches you a couple things. One, it teaches you to listen. You can't recreate nothing if you don't even hear what's going on.
Right.
A lot of guys, their ear is the last thing to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Your ear as a producer should be the first thing to develop. You need to develop an ear for a dope melody. Mm-hmm. You need to develop an ear for what a good drum sounds like. Just sonically, what these instruments, what you're looking for. That's all in your ear. You get that through listening.
Mm-hmm.
And then imitation gives us an opportunity to apply that listening to the beats we're making. So now I heard it. Can I recreate that thing?
Right.
I hear that bass line. Can I play that bass line?
Mm-hmm.
Can I program that drum pattern exactly like they have it? Even if my sounds are different, how close can I come to that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what imitation teaches you. So if you have favorite producers and you're an up and coming producer, don't sit around and think, I got to have an original style. No, your first X amount of months, years, imitate the shit that you think is the dopest shit.
Mm-hmm.
Take that shit away from it. And then the longer you do it, the more you'll start finding your own style.
Yeah, it'll come because you'll learn techniques through the imitation. It's just like, when we talked about some of our writing hacks, when, I said like I would, copy other people's patterns, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's the same shit. It's the same shit to add things to my toolbox to learn how to do certain things and get certain things under my belt to where like, okay, now I can apply this technique to my own shit. And do it the way that I would do it. Now, how would I flip that? Like there's certain samples I find that other people have used and I just make a beat out of it just to flip it different.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So because I see how that's where they chopped it. That's how it's chopped. Okay. Those are the parts that they used. Okay. But it's like 3 other parts that they didn't use. Let me see if I can incorporate those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all kind of shit, all kind of techniques to, apply and work on getting your own shit.
Yeah, I mean, even just think about like so many producers in the beat scene today. A lot of them imitate Dilla's swing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The swing that he's got in the pocket. A lot of these producers, you can tell like they started making beats when Dilla was around, and for at least a while, that's how they learned to program their drums.
Yeah.
And then they kind of took it and went their own way and got more extreme with it. But it made them better producers. You know what I mean? Just learning how to do that, because if you copy his swing, then you gotta also have his ear for which sounds to use.
Right.
His sense of timing. Where's that bass line? Is that on beat? Is it behind the beat? How do I this is my snare early, late? There's a science behind all of that. Sometimes it takes you to put that into the grid to see it. You can copy Dilla, but then you say, oh, wait a minute, I'm looking at this grid and I'm seeing that snare is usually a little ahead and that hi-hat a little behind. And the kick is always here. And then the other kick, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the science behind this. You don't learn that if you don't imitate it. So that's number 3. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Where?
Yo, this weekend, big vinyl sale, all vinyl on weightless.net, 20% off. Again, 20% off until Monday at midnight. Labor Day sale. Take advantage of these prices now. We got fly colored vinyl. You see it. Shit look great. Get some of that. 20% off. This is the new joint that's not even out yet. Pre-ordering right now. Ships to 24th. 20% off of that. Just this weekend, though. Don't sleep. For those of you who pick it up, appreciate y'all support. Y'all have a good weekend. Stop by weightless.net. Peace. My brand new book, The Social Media Cheat Code, is now pre-ordering on weightless.net. Order your signed copy today. Thanks for your support. Super. Duty. Tough. Work.
Yo.
The most infamous podcast on planet Earth. Boldly going where no podcast has ever gone before. Covering more ground than any podcast and having fun while doing it.
Yeah.
Talking about how to become a better music producer for all you music producers out there. You know, this next set of things is going to be some things that even the experienced music producers can learn from. Number 4 tip is listen to a lot of old records.
Yes.
Digging, for me, is my number one source of inspiration.
Oh, come on, man.
You know, like, I think we talked about it, you and I via text, about like, one day I was like, you're like, I need to go digging. I was like, I don't need to go digging for records. I need to go digging to be inspired to make beats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I hadn't made no beats in a while.
Yeah.
I was like, the records, I know I need, because buying the records activates something in me.
It does. I laugh because I just went digging yesterday.
See,
I got a whole stack, and I mean I've been digging like probably I think I dug 2 weeks ago too, and I don't need no more records. You know what I'm saying? Like I still got a whole bunch of records I ain't even listened to, but yo, this stack that I got over here from the last 2 weeks, so much fire in it.
Makes you want to make beats, don't it?
Come on, man. I've been killing it the last couple weeks. Just one or two, like. Some like I got some samples to where I'm like, oh yeah.
See,
yes,
yeah. That's the thing though. Like one thing, and this goes back to what we were talking about with developing your ear. Another way to develop your ear is by having a very large vocabulary of old music, old great music. There's a reason those records exist,
right?
Because those people at that time were the dopest musicians of their time.
Yep, the pinnacle.
So if it made it to vinyl, it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, because vinyl was super expensive. You think vinyl is expensive now compared to, you know, with inflation and shit? Compared to back then, you had to be special.
Yeah. You made it through all these little hurdles and hoops. You made it through. And so like you're listening to the dopest musicians of their time when you're listening to a record. You listen to melodies you never thought of and just all kind of crazy ideas. And when you start getting into that mode, what you do does not just become restricted to your genre, if you will. Right? Like we've always talked about how like the diversity of the listening palette of the original hip hop DJs is the reason hip hop blew up. Like you look at what Jazzy J and Bambaataa and all them dudes and Red Alert, all the original DJs had incredible range of music in their crates that they would play at these parties and jams back in the day. That translated into the first wave of hip hop producers, the Public Enemies, the Tribe Called Quests, you know what I mean? Like the Marley Marls, they all had these real diverse palettes of things they would sample and draw inspiration from. And so like, that's important to have. And you can only learn from listening like that. Like you have to become a student of music.
Right.
To really, really make some fire shit, because the average motherfucker who's making beats, he makes trap beats, he only listens to trap music. Or he makes a certain type of beats, he only listens to house music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to be the guy to stand out who draws from everything.
Yeah. And
that's when you can make some special shit.
Yeah, like before I was a producer, I wasn't listening to no, Latin music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Tamita and shit.
Yeah, like I wasn't, like I just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the kind of shit that I listen to on my ride. But when I'm at the freaking record store, I'm in the psych rock section. I'm in the world section. I'm in the African section. I'm, what I'm saying? Like I'm listening. I'm picking from all, because I know that the way that we make beats as sample-based producers, you can always find, especially if you want to stand out, you can't just sample the regular shit. You can't just sample soul music all the time.
Thank you.
You can't just sample the same Ahmad Jamal record that, this dude's, like, you got to find some shit, and how you hear it is really where it goes, man. Like my ear, since I've been producing, I listen to music a completely different way now.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I don't hear music the way just as a regular listener like I did when I was in high school. Yeah. Like now I'm listening to, I see what they did there. You know what I'm saying? I see, especially when I listen to hip hop and dope producers, I'm like, that's where that chop is. Okay, I see. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so many, that goes against the, the bass line. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like those notes clash a little bit and it makes this interesting sound. Just weird shit like that. You can't do that if you just listen to one genre of music.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, get your palette open. That's been one of the biggest things that has influenced me. I mean, if we look at all the shit that you and I did just on like your Celestial Clockwork record, the sampling on that record, wide ass range of shit we was pulling from, and that's why that record is so bugged out. But it all comes together.
Right.
But that doesn't happen if I'm not listening to all kind of bugged out shit.
Right.
So that's number 4. Number 5 tip to producers: become a better producer. And this is one I know y'all don't want to listen to me on, but I'm going to say it anyway. Work with vocalists.
Yeah.
Work with vocalists. Look, I'm well aware that as a producer, you don't have to work with nobody now to have a career. You can be in the beat scene. We have friends and friends of the show who are amazing producers. And they don't need no vocalists. They make dope shit. And there's a scene of people who just buy instrumental shit. We get it. But there's something to be learned from working with vocalists,
right,
that you can't get from working by yourself. Working with vocalists teaches you collaboration, teaches you adaptation. It makes you understand like what you hear in a beat is so much different from what everybody else hears. Like I make a beat, I hear one thing. I may hear nothing. I play the same beat for you. You hear something completely different.
Right.
The way you rhyme to it, what you talk about over it, the structure of how you rap your pattern. I'm like, where the fuck that come from? It changes you as a producer because you stop looking at your music the same. You stop thinking, I got all the answers. I know what's best for this beat. You don't really know.
Right.
But you'll always think you got these answers until you start working with vocalists. They'll challenge you.
Yeah. And they'll make you look at your own shit differently.
Yeah.
They'll open your eyes to something that you didn't see in the beat just because you're so close to it.
Yeah. Dog, I do that so much with I would say a lot of the Soul Position records was a function of that. At least half the beats would be beats that like they was just interludes on the beat tapes. RJ sent me a beat tape. It would have like 2 minutes to the joints that he really liked. You know, they'd be 2 minutes on there.
Did it be a 45-second joint?
Yeah.
It's just a loop.
16 bars or so. I'd be like, that's the one. You'd be like, no, what? Like, yeah, that's it. I need that. I wrote a whole song to that. I'd be like, how'd you write a whole song that it's only 16 bars on the tape? I just kept rewinding.
Yeah,
I like it. And then
as a producer, go ahead.
Because I said I spit the song for me, and he'd be like, "Oh,
yeah." Didn't get it.
I get it.
Yeah, as a producer, like we can't control that. Usually, we talked about this before. Like you send cats, 10 beats, and you just put some joints on there. Like I don't really like this one, but let me just throw it on there. You know what I'm saying? And it be those be the ones that they pick. Those be the ones that has no changes.
Yep.
That's just a loop, couple drops. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's it. But the ones that's crazy arranged and got like 5 different sounds and
they don't want that shit.
They don't want that shit. They don't want that shit.
It's true. Cause like I know that shit and I still do that to other producers when they send me shit. I know how that feels. And I still can't help but do it to other people when I rhyme over their shit. They be like, this is the one for them. Like, nah, that's the one. Like, what? Yeah, trust me. But yeah, the songwriting process, we know it as vocalists, as MCs, it's so much different than production. It's more about like the emotion and the feeling that beat brings out of us. Some beats give us a cinematic feel. You can see and you can feel something. Right. And that dictates our writing. A lot of production, you make a beat, you honestly don't know. You might like it because of the sample or how you freaked it, but maybe it doesn't have that emotional impact that a vocalist can find in it. And it's just different. I think once you work with vocalists, man, it just helps you take your shit to the next level, especially in terms of arranging your music. Mm-hmm. The way that you arrange your music, verses, choruses, breakdowns, changes once you start working with vocalists.
Yeah.
So that's number 5. Number 6 tip, how to become a better producer. Learn how to DJ. Play out.
Yep. That's where I'm at right now. I'm learning now.
I see. We see. Yeah. Look, if that has made the biggest difference in my production, if I think about it from when I first started, I think part of the reason I was able to pick it up quickly was because I was DJing for 4 years. Listening to records, playing in front of people before I started making beats. And producers don't know this, but any producer who has played a live beat set in front of any amount of people will tell you it's different.
Very different.
It's different than your bedroom. It's different than playing in front of a bunch of other producers, sharing beats, with each other. Playing out is different. It can be humbling. Playing, it gives you a different sense of timing.
Yeah.
Your sense of time in terms of duration. You arranged the beat and you thought it was perfectly okay to have that 32 bar verse there where it ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Sounds good in the headphones and in the whip. In the club, people going to get drinks. People walking away. Conversations is getting loud. You can hear people talking over your shit. Nothing's happening. It's not moving. DJing teaches you to avoid that.
Yeah.
As a DJ, my biggest takeaway was like, yo, keep people on the floor. That's your job. Keep people paying attention. If you lose them, you can have the dopest beat in the world, but if it's arranged improperly, you'll lose in a live setting. And DJing will teach you those lessons in a way that nothing else really can.
Yeah, like this over when I did the Beats and B-Sides live last Thursday. It was my first time doing a beat set, like using my controller and everything, like in front of people. And I practiced, like originally I had my set because I slated myself like, everybody gets like 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I slated myself 20 minutes. My set ended up being 11 minutes just because the feeling, you know what I'm saying? I was actually fit because I practiced, you know what I'm saying? I practiced like, I came in around like 18, you know what I'm saying? 19 minutes during practice just because of the feel and when I was doing it live and just where it, just feeling like, okay, now it's time to transition to the next joint.
Yes.
My set ended up being 11 minutes long, man.
You never would have felt that if you didn't take it out into public. Right. That's what I think people are missing. A lot of producers are missing that. It changes you and it makes you in a good way. We're not telling you to learn how to DJ to go play clubs and pop music.
Yeah.
We want you to learn how to DJ so that you can understand how people respond to music in a live setting.
Yeah.
It's far different than how they respond in a studio setting, or how a crowd that's there strictly for you or people who are like you respond. Like, you can play a beat for me and I listen to every change in it. We can play beats back and forth because we just listen to beats.
Right.
But if we go out and we playing some beats, you know what I'm saying, in public, the time starts to be a little like, yo, you might want to change that beat up, dog. That thing's still going. It's 5 minutes on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know, bruh. So learn how to DJ. I mean, Illogic, he just got like one of those MIDI turntable controllers. Anybody who follows me on Instagram knows I got one. I posted a picture of mine. Me and Groove have used ours for 7-8 years at least, maybe longer, because I feel like you've used it before. Did you use it last time you and I toured?
I think I might have, because I had to DJ for myself.
Yeah,
so I think
you used it. Or you used it, right? I can't remember, but we always kept it for emergencies on tour. In case we went somewhere we couldn't bring our tables, or in case something happened, table got broke, we had the MIDI turntables we could still play. And so I've had mine, and you know, I recently started using for putting cuts on my records and stuff. But yo, it's good to have one of those because it teaches you a lot. And you know, you're taking classes on DJing, just learning how to spin your stuff out, and it's going to change your relationship with your own music. And so as a producer, I think you need that, man.
Yeah.
That's number 6. Number 7 tip: how to become a better producer. Practice different styles. I can't say this enough. Whatever you do, get outside of it every now and then.
Tempos.
Yeah.
Instruments.
Man. Genres. Like, look, it's okay. Look, we're hip hop heads. I think if people did a survey, about 90% of my music is about 90 BPM, and about 90% of your music is 80 BPM.
Right. It's true.
It's true. We right in there. This is our that's where we comfortable at.
Yeah.
But it's okay to break out and do some fast jams. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple joints that is like 115, you know what I mean? 120 BPM. I crack the 100 sometimes. Every now and again, I'll go down to like 80, 75, just to kind of do some mean, evil, slow shit. But yo, it's okay. As a producer, that BPM button does have a range. You can change it. I don't know if y'all noticed, but you can put your mouse.
It does move.
It does move. It does move. It's not set in stone. You know what I mean? You can move that BPM and it changes the feeling of your beats. Try it. Make some house shit.
It's fun too.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. Like, I have some shit that's like 140.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been touching that just because, like, I get tired of hearing everything at the same tempo.
Yes.
As a producer, like, listening to my own beats, if I, put some beats on a playlist and play it in my car, it's like, I need some variation, you know what I'm saying, to listen to. You know what I mean? So it's fun to, step outside of that, make some really, really slow shit, some double time shit, change the time signature, make some 3/4 shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it stretches you out and gives you things to put in your toolbox that, you might not have if you're not practicing and trying out different shit.
Straight up. Like, I mean, and the people will tell soon enough, because we'll see soon enough, because I've got like some instrumental projects coming out, and Illogic's heard of them, and he played one of my songs on his last thing. It's like, it sounds like some jazz shit. Sounds like some Robert Glasper jazzy up-tempo shit. Don't sound like nothing I typically rap to or make instrumental wise, but it was one of those situations like, yo, I want to make some shit like that. And it made me step out of my comfort zone, and just doing it to make it sound authentic was a challenge, man.
Yeah.
My Adventures in Counterculture record, challenged myself. That record has a lot of different styles on it, and it took me to study all those styles to be able to do it, which helped me as a producer now. So if you want to like expand your palette, don't be afraid to step outside of whatever your comfortable thing is. You ain't got to make a bunch of weird shit with the intent to put it out or sell it. Just make it.
Yeah.
And grow from it. Use it to learn and to add to your palette of tools in your toolbox. That's number 7. And we'll take a break and we'll be right back. While I got y'all here, I want to give you a quick reminder that my first 3 books have been repressed and are available again on waitlist.net. Book number 1, Word is Blog, Volume 1. This book is a collection of some of my best blogs and writings online, assembled into book form. Second book is Adventures in Counterculture, The Making of Adventures in Counterculture. This book is about my 2011 album titled Adventures in Counterculture. This book talks about the 4-year period that it took me to make that album, the personal and artistic changes that it took. If you're into some artistic reading, this is for you. And then the third book, which is available again, is What a Night, a book about the worst shows of my career. This book is, as it says, it's a book about the worst shows of my career, but it's actually a pretty funny book. Some stories in here are just tragic or bugged out, but overall, this book will have you cracking up. So if you need some light reading, something that will just make you laugh, and if you've ever wondered what happens on the road with artists, pick up this book. All 3 are available, $10 each. However, you can get all 3 of them for just $25 right now. If you want them signed, please put some instructions in the special instructions box and ask me to sign them, and I'll get them signed before I get them out to you. And I think they might have a checkbox for all 3 that allows you to get them signed. So that's it for now. Back to the show. Back to the show. Super duty tough work. Music producers, what's good? If you're on YouTube, you gotta let us know what your favorite bullet point is. You know, if you're on SoundCloud, etc. Holla at your boys. Y'all know we on Instagram. If you don't already follow us on Instagram under, which is superduty_tough work. You know, if you're on Twitter, it's SDTW_podcast. We know it's not the same. Maybe we'll standardize the handles this year. I don't know. But Twitter doesn't allow us enough characters to do superduty_tough work. So who knows? But you know where to find us. Most Infamous Podcast. And on YouTube, Super Duty Tough Work. YouTube.com/Super Duty Tough Work. One word. Add us. Subscribe. Playlists and such. We got 3 more bullet points this week. How to become a better producer. Number 8, collaborate with other producers. This is one that is happening a lot more now thanks to the internet.
Yes.
Because when we was coming up, nobody trying to work with you, son.
Nah.
They was not trying to trade no tips. Wasn't no, hey, let's just get up and play some beats for each other. Nah.
Yeah, everything was secretive. Like, you couldn't see what records they had. Like,
Hell no.
You had to be, everybody was in their own little bubble, you know.
They wouldn't tell you where they dug at. No. That's a secret. You know what I mean? Like, nothing was exchanged. And now it's like, because that barrier has changed, dudes really exchange everything. The community is dope now to see producers so willing to share their work, to share their tips and tricks, explain things, and not see other producers as like a threat.
Right.
Which is what it used to be, because there were so few. And so there's a lot to be learned from working with other producers, man. We all typically learn production by ourselves. And as we learn it by ourselves, we develop these like really like specific weird ways of doing things. And sometimes we don't know they weird till we get around other people.
Yeah.
Then we're like, damn, I'm a fucking weirdo. Like, why are you doing this shit?
Or you find out like, damn, I'm doing this the hard way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he just did that quick, especially because me and you have talked about it, and we haven't done it yet, but just getting up and just getting together and making beats together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know, I can watch your process because we have 2 different programs. You know what I mean? And just, you know, doing shit like that, I think that would be really dope. And I think we'd kind of, you know, it'll open our eyes to some different things and probably be fucking inspirational, you know?
Yeah, we got to get up and just do drum programming.
Yeah.
Since that's what you want to get better, that's all we'll do is just program drums.
Yeah, man, that I would love that because I need some help. I get a couple like patterns every now and then, but like it take me too long. Yeah. Take me too long to program a pattern that I like. Yeah, takes me way too long.
Yeah, well, I ain't the fastest, but I can dial in what I need. You know what I'm saying? Pretty well now. But you know, obviously I've been doing it a long time. But You know, I've had periods in my career where I literally just sat around and did nothing but drum programming. Where I'm like, damn, my drum programming ain't slapping right now, man. I need to listen to some shit and try to copy it and see if I can do what they're doing and how can I make my shit sound like that, you know?
Yeah.
But during those times, I didn't make no beats. All I did was drums.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe I need one of those, like a specific day in my schedule where it's just drums. That's all I do. That's all I do.
Yeah, because there's a science behind it, man.
Oh yeah, I know. Like I know.
These dudes are scientists out here with this drum programming now.
Yeah. I mean, just listen to the drum breaks. Like, it's like, how the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, especially because it's an actual drummer, but also listening to cats, you know, that are good at drum programming.
Yes.
That use digital. And it's like, how the fuck did they fit that little roll in there? You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's not a break.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I can tell the drums are different drums, but the pattern is so beautiful. How the hell did they fucking do that?
Right.
You know, especially if they hand drumming too. Like, hand drumming miss me with that. I ain't nowhere. Nowhere.
I realize that it's too late for me to even try. You know,
I'm not coordinated enough. I'm not.
But I learned that from just programming, trying to play real drums. Like the whole, you know, they call it like, what is it the thing called? Hand independence, where you have to train yourself mentally to where your left hand and right hand don't do the same things. You got to drum for a while to get that physically.
Yeah.
You got dudes who got finger independence.
Right.
It's even crazier to where like this index don't want to do what that index is doing. It can do two different things. And you got even one hand where like they're doing all different things at different times. It's like, I'm gonna just keep making beats, man. Because I don't know if I'm ever be able to do the finger drumming like that.
Yeah, that's the shit I'm learning too with DJing. Like it's not as severe, you know what I mean? But still like learning that independence of hand to, you know, if I want to do a certain type of cut, because I ain't trying to be Cubert or nothing, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to do like little shit, you know, that I can do out live and do on records and stuff to where it sounds good enough, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that shit takes a lot of practice and coordination. Like, I'm learning, like, I got so much respect for DJs that are fucking turntablists. Like, how the fuck do y'all do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it, you know, but it's that practicing, man.
Straight up, man. Straight up, man. So yeah, that's number 8. Collaborate with other producers. Number 9, bullet point. Practice publicly. Yes. We've talked about this many times. And what we mean by this, for those who haven't heard us say this before, it's like one of the best things that you can do to kind of build your skills, and what we see a lot of producers doing now, is practicing publicly. They share their work publicly. They make beats publicly. They don't sit around. They create songs publicly, pieces of art. People don't sit around expecting it to be perfect. People are just happy to have a sneak peek in on a process and hear stuff they haven't heard before. And but it can be tough for some people because we want to wait till everything is perfect,
right?
You know, and so we tend to hold our work until it's on an album. And I think even me and Illogic talked about it. Like, we didn't have no quick and dirty content,
right?
We dudes who just come with the full fucking music video,
right?
You ain't getting no extra. 1080p HD. Color treated, you know, graded and everything. It's got a LUT on it. Yo, no, we not dropping nothing without no LUTs. You know what I'm saying? You getting these LUTs, you know, if you get some finish from us. Oh, you getting that sharpened too. You getting that sharpened, you know what I mean? You catching that, buddy.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's like we've had to adjust to trying to drop quick and dirty content. And, you know, that's something I talk about in the cheat code book. There's a lot to be gained. Anybody who, I mean, you guys know us, we're not perfect. You can see us put all these things into practice. So if you look at like my Instagram in the last 2 weeks, I've been doing a lot of quick and dirty stuff. And it's been getting really good responses, you know, and I've never done that before. But I had to kind of train myself out of it has to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? The trap of that. Like, it's got to be 1080p. It got to be color. It got to be perfect. It's like, nah, man, just get it done. Get it done. Make it fast and then move forward.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to practice publicly. I'm trying to share beats that are not totally done, but they're good enough to share.
Yeah, it got a good groove. You know, for a 1 minute video, like you don't need a bunch of changes. You don't need nothing crazy. Just, you know, a good groove.
And that's what I've learned.
Yeah.
Cause I used to think, oh, I gotta be perfect. I gotta be able to. I used to feel like this too. And I wonder if any other producers feel like this. I almost felt like if I wasn't able to do it like the dudes with the SP 404s was doing it, I shouldn't do it. And so maybe I needed an SP to play beats and do effects and things like them. Or else I shouldn't share my shit. But then I realized, like, yo, that's their shit.
Right.
My shit is my shit. I don't have to do what they do to get a response. Everybody doesn't do that. Like, all I have to be is dope. People don't expect that from me.
Right.
So once I kind of got past that hurdle, it was like, oh yeah, you don't got to do what they do. Fine, do it your way. I mean, it's kind of like you with the MIDI turntable.
Yeah.
You don't have an SP404.
No.
You got a MIDI turntable when it works for you.
Right. Right.
And so, like, practice publicly, man.
Yeah. And I think it's dope too, like the quick and dirty content is, you know, people, if they're on the journey with you, they feel more connected to you.
Yes.
They feel more connected to your story. They're more prone to when the finished product is available.
Yes.
Like, yo, I remember, you know, a year ago when he first got that controller. You know what I'm saying? And he was practicing publicly. Now look at him. You know what I'm saying? Now shit is blending perfectly. Effects are on point. Like I was along for the ride, and he putting out an instrumental project. I'm gonna pick that shit up because I remember, you know, I saw him developing the skill to get to the point to where putting an instrumental project out makes sense for him now. You know, because you practice publicly, it gives people feel closer to it.
It's true. Yeah, like I look now like, yo, because I have these instrumental projects, you know, that are done, like, yo, it would make no sense for me to just drop an instrumental project without sharing no beats with people.
Right.
Like, I need to be sharing. I need to be sharing what I'm doing every day. If I'm making beats every day, if I'm making shit I really think is dope, I should be sharing and practicing publicly, man. It ain't gonna be perfect. You know, I still have things I could do. Like, you know, I've never shared my beat making process with nobody or nothing like that, or listen to records publicly, but that will come. That will come. But it's just a matter of like putting myself in a position, just saying like, yo, man, I'm sharing this shit.
Yeah. And also for you, since we're MCs first, you know, to get people prepared, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Get their ear prepared. So when you say you dropping an instrumental record, they already know to not expect, you know what I'm saying, print rhyming over everything.
Thank you.
Like, you know, get them in that mindset to where, okay, he's in his producer bag, you know what I'm saying? And get them in that mode for the next, you know, few months to where they're like, okay, you know, now I know what to expect. I'm ready for this now.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very important because you guys like us, we can get a lot of either backlash or confusion when we put out instrumental projects because people be expecting us to rap over everything.
Right.
And if you're not rapping, they like, what is this? Where'd this come from?
Yeah, why are you doing this?
Somebody said something on my Facebook, like, why are you writing this social media book? Since when did you start trying to help artists or some shit like that? This off brand. I was like, where's this guy been for the last 5 years?
Yeah, like, podcast? Where are you? What the fuck?
Yeah, I just was like, block. Mute. It was like, how to say you ain't been paying attention without saying you ain't been paying attention.
Right.
I was like, yo, every fucking week we've been doing this podcast. Like, the book makes perfect sense for people who listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
like,
it shows you're not really a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you really don't fuck with me like that. Like, you probably only have 1988 in your possession. Like, or a Soul Position record or something. You know what I mean? Like, you don't fuck with us like that.
You don't follow me on social media at all.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? When did I start trying to help artists and do stuff like that? And this book, I'm like, all right, man, fuck it. You know, he clearly hasn't seen me practicing publicly, posting clips of this show for 5 fucking years. But, you know,
right,
to each his own. Well, yeah, last bullet point, and this is one that, you know, we all have to fuck with, and I think everybody, no matter where you start, you come back to this. But number 10 tip to become a better producer is to learn some music theory.
I'm here now.
You know, you said you getting there.
Yeah, this is. I mean, because just wanting to play, play along with my samples and wanting to make beats that have no samples and being able to play shit in key and understanding notes and all that stuff. Like, it's important.
Yeah, and you don't gotta be a fucking, great piano player.
Oh no,
to understand music theory.
Yeah, just understanding key is important.
Yeah,
you don't have to
like just knowing.
That? Yeah, what key is that? What's the bass note?
What's the root note? Yeah, what scale can I play? What notes are in that scale? Oh, okay, cool. I can play all these notes and then that. Okay, to me, it's like the illest application. Why you need to know is if you're a sample based producer, you need to understand key so that you can understand how to put samples together.
Yes,
so that all your compositions ain't got to be from the same sample.
Right.
You can take these records and start combining things because okay, I know this is in that key. This is in that key. I know how to transpose this and get this into that key. And then now I got this and I can use this on that part of it and use that for you see. But if you don't understand music theory, you're going to struggle with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't even require being able to play really. You just need to develop your ear.
Yeah. And that's what was cool for me because I played, saxophone in middle school and high school. So I understand music a little bit and I have a pretty good ear as far as hearing key.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that I do that, where I put samples together from other records, I do it by ear. I don't even necessarily know exactly what key it is. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But most of it I do by ear right now. And it's harder that way.
Yeah. Because you guess it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you guess it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, that's something I always thought about. Like, a lot of people don't exactly know that thing where it's like, hear a sample. Oh, that's in this key. Hear another sample. Oh, that's in a different key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do I get this to match that?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. To where the listener can't tell that they come from two different places. That's the shit that's like, a lot of people don't know how to do because they just haven't got to that music theory part. But then when you get to music theory part, you're like, oh, hell no. Like, you combine the music theory with the time stretching and all these other technical tools that are out there, you can't be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be stopped. All kind of collage ass shit you be creating. I'll be like, if you're like, yo, man, all I done told you, you seen the shit that I'm on now.
Right.
Like, just applying.
You be doing some, yeah.
Like I'm up in here like, you know what I'm saying? Minority Report. You know what I mean? Like Tom Cruise, Minority Report, taking shit. Let's go with that. Put this over there. Because I see it now. I've been able to apply that to that, but it took me a while to get there, and then to find tools that support that. Finding my style and mastering these little pockets. Now I can get it, but learn music theory sooner rather than later. You don't have to become a virtuoso piano player, nothing like that. Just be able to recognize a key, play a chord or two, so you can copy chords, so you can figure out why certain pieces of music are great. Eventually, you'll learn more, but and then if you make beats every day, you'll get it. You'll be better.
Facts.
So that's it. That's it. How to become a better music producer. Let me read them back. Number 1, read your manuals. Number 2, make 2 to 3 beats a day. Number 3, imitate your favorites. Number 4, listen to a lot of old records. Number 5, work with vocalists. Number 6, learn how to DJ and play out. Number 7, practice different styles. Number 8, collaborate with other producers. Number 9, practice publicly. And number 10, learn some music theory. You apply these, you'll be dope in no time. And I hope this has been inspiring to some. I hope you producers out there who are new or up and coming or just trying to find your style and apply these. And hopefully we'll be hearing some fire shit from you.
Facts.
And so that's it for this week. We'll see y'all next week.
Word.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.